שלום לכולם, ברוכים הבאים לפקולטה לניהול. שמי איה אקר, אני מנהלת את יחידת השיווק של הפקולטה לניהול. בפקולטה לניהול וכל מי שהתנסה בעולם העסקי יודע שברוב המקרים לפני שאתה מצליח אתה צריך גם להתמודד עם קצת כישלונות, והדרך הבטוחה להצלחה זה ללמוד מהכישלונות האלה. ולכן החלטנו היום לא להיבהל ולדבר על, הרבה פעמים אנשים אוהבים לדבר רק על ההצלחות, אלא גם לדבר קצת על איך לומדים מכישלון. והראשון שידבר כאן ביקש שאציג אותו כך, יוסי תאגורי, פסיק כישלון. אני לא יכולה להסכים עם ההגדרה הזאת, אבל זה היה הבקשה שלו, אז בואו נשמע אותו מדבר ובואו נראה מה אתם תגידו אחרי זה על ההגדרה הזאת. יוסי?
Instead they called it the fine line between success and failures. Now for me it's not a fine line. It's like between success and failure there is infinity, right? It's not so close. It's like so many ways to fail and so little ways. There are no ways to succeed, actually. So let me give you a little promo and then we'll start. It's a little promo about a show that is going on TV at the end of this month. And this is a little...
צריך רעיונות קטנים ומפגרים.
The first company that was mine was called Feed Me, and this was the first time that I said enough is enough. I have ideas, I don't tell anyone about them, I dream about them, I don't do anything about it, and someday, a few months later, there's a big company raising a lot of money, making blah, 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 and I had enough. I said, next time I have an idea, I do it. So I was working for a company back then, and I had the honor of, the pleasure of going to Paris for the first time. It was January 2009, exactly like 4 years ago. And Paris is amazing. It's especially in the winter. It was snowing and it was freezing, and I put my stuff in the room and I go where intelligent people go. Where is it's to the Louvre. I go see some art, I'm intelligent. So I go to the Louvre, and just before I get to the Louvre, on my left I see this amazing patisserie. Now, I don't know if you know that, but French people, they love desserts. They love so much dessert that 200 years ago there was a guy who said, a dessert without cheese is like a beautiful woman with only one eye. Now, this person was a very, very intelligent people. He was an attorney, he was a philosopher. He also wrote the first book about The Physiology of Taste. Savarin, he was called. And for me, I love cake. So I get in and I ask her for, the millefeuille. This is the Napoleon cake, this 1,000-leaf. So she starts wrapping it. I said, why are you wrapping it? I'm eating it here. He said, no, this is how you do it. They wrap it, and I take it, and I open it, and I take a bite, and it's like, oh my God, it's like the best crème schnit ever, and I want to tell the world that in the middle of freezing Paris, January 2009, this place has the best crème schnit ever. And I can't. This is way before Twitter became Twitter. It was there, but nobody knew. Oprah Winfrey didn't know about it. Ashton Kutcher didn't know about it. It was only the start. Facebook wasn't big enough. Right, Zuckerberg was little. Okay? A week later, I come back to Tel Aviv, and I eat Savarina. Savarina, by the way, is called after Savarin, who gave the sauce to two brothers who made a sponge cake with the rum and everything. So I decided to do that. So I take my iPhone, and I take a picture, and I use hashtag, what everybody knows what the hashtag is, and I use hashtag filming. Right? Really easy. 2009. Something amazing happened that day. 300 people saw that picture in a few hours. Now, 300 people, it's like, just imagine you have 100,000 page views in 1994 in the internet. It's like huge. It's like bigger than Facebook. It was amazing. 300 people. Actually, I didn't have 300 followers on Twitter. Somehow they saw it. And it's something even more amazing happened that day. A few days later, other people joined in. Now, we didn't have a site, we didn't have a domain, we didn't tell anyone about it. But they got it. They got the idea of feeding. You take a picture, you say you like it, hashtag feeding. I said, oh my God, I think I have a startup. This is how it works, right? You have an idea, you see something, you say you have a startup. And this time I said, I am going for it. I am going to do it. I'm not going to let anybody else do it and then, cry. So, we went on to do it. We built a beautiful, seriously, I worked months on it. I didn't do anything. I just coded day and night for 3 months like crazy. This was my first app ever that I built, and it was beautiful. I love it. It's genius. Seriously. You take pictures of food, and you tell that you like it, and you tell where you are, and it publishes to Facebook, and checks into Foursquare. It's amazing. For me, by the way, I'm half Moroccan, half Libyan, It's countries that are known for their human rights movement. And when you have food at home, you eat. For me, food is a very emotional thing. Savarine said, the discovery of a new dish confers more happiness on humanity than the discovery of a new star. And he is right, he knows what he's talking about, this guy, right? So we launched Feed Me. I went on stage to Economy, I was on stage, I gave the pitch. I go 7 minutes, right? I tell them the story, blah, 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 I wave my hands, I go down, I get an SMS. And the SMS says, 50K for 15%. Oh my God! I think, I'm onto something. I didn't say what my business model is. I didn't have a business model. I don't know how to make money. They're willing to give me money just because I tell the story. This is a good idea. Maybe I'll start to tell stories and get money. But, this guy who wanted to give me the money, he was a very, very nice person. But I knew that, when you get, somebody's money, you actually get into bed with him. And I didn't want to go to bed with this guy. Now, first he's a guy, But I knew that I want to take money from another guy. I knew that I want to take money from this guy. Now, Yossi is a very, very simple guy, right? I went to Yossi. Yossi said, you know my terms. Yossi's terms, basically, he gives you $100,000, and he takes, and he takes 20%. Very simple, common shares, not preferred shares. Is 1-2-page contract, really simple. He said to me, Yossi, you know my terms? I said, yes. Are you accepting them? I said, yes. He said, okay, you have my permission to go to any investor you know and tell them that these are my terms, and so get better ones, better deal. I said, I don't want a better deal. I don't want other people. I want to get to bed in with you. And he said, okay, fine. A month later, the money is in the bank. Pretty simple. I give a little bit more, get $100,000. We have a startup. Very emotional. For me, it was very emotional. I come from Ashkelon, nobody gives you money, $100,000. It was the first time ever in my life I saw so many numbers in my bank account. It was huge, huge. So, and Yossi starts to invite you to all those events, and we were still coding, and we were still, very, very invested in the app, and we said we have a better app than anybody else, and there was starting to come up with all sorts of clones. There was a clone starting fairly at the same time. It was called Food Spotting. It's still called Food Spotting. They just sold for $10 million yesterday for, and that. CEO, that Food Spotting CEO, she came, she was adopted from Korea, right? She got adopted, but she was very smart. She went to the top 40 people, the most influential women in the US. She approached one of them, and she made her founder, co-founder. Now this women, that influencer, got invited to many, many, many events to speak because she's one of the top 40. It's important. And she started saying food spotting, food spotting, food spotting, food spotting, food spotting, food spotting, food. From day to night, it was Not very comfortable to me, okay? 2 months later, she raises $3.5 million. Okay? She has somebody that speaks her language, doing her marketing, doing her business development, and I'm stuck in Israel with a lousy $100,000. Still a lot of money for a guy from Ashkelon, but still not enough to do anything serious. And we started, spending the money bit by bit and starting to work, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well because nobody downloaded it, because we had a better app, basically, than food spotting. But they had that girl that did marketing. We didn't know about marketing. We said, we have the best product ever. It's like, it looks beautiful, and you can use it anywhere, and blah, 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 blah. And we still coded, and we didn't understand that we need to do marketing. But then something happened. Yossi invited me to DLD. Now, DLD just happened 2 weeks ago, and it happens every year in January. It's digital lifestyle design. It's like a TED event for poor people. Okay? I don't know if you know, but TED, it costs like $6,000 to just have a ticket, and you're not guaranteed to be in the room with the speakers. They stream it to the room next to, and you just sit there and you watch the TV. You pay $6,000 to see TV, which is a nice business model. They're losing a lot of money. So at DLD, there's people from all around the world. There's musicians, there's artists. It's a beautiful, very high studio. It's Munich. So I'm meeting with my friend from Google, who is responsible for Google Places. It was Google Places 2 years ago, and he asked me, "What do you think about the product?" And I said, "This is a shitty product that you have there. It will never work." And I start going on and on why it's, it's a very bad product. And he looks at me and he says, "How about you moving to Silicon Valley and working for us?" I said, "Interesting." The day after, I got the M&A guy approaching me and says, "Why don't you talk to Yossi Vardi and your wife and you give me a number? And we buy you." I said, "Yes. Yeah, אני מתחיל מסודרים. Yes, מסודרים." I start to hear the music. And what this guy didn't know is that a year before that, I was working for another company called Nuconomy. It's a startup. It was the first startup I ever worked for. And it got invested by Yossi Vardi, right? We had good times in bed, so invested again. And it was also got investment by Sir Martin Sorrell, who is the chief executive at WPP, which is the biggest communication group in the world. They have hundreds of companies around the world. They're making billions and billions of dollars, and they're making a lot of money everywhere. Okay? And they invested $2 million in Nuconomy. They invested $2 million in Nuconomy. And at some point, they said, "We want to buy you." I said, "Yes!" And they started to negotiate. And we negotiated, and they went on and on and on. And money ran out. We were 3 months without payroll. And we were still negotiating. We saw the exit. It was grinding, it was coming. We felt it. And at some point, 3 months without payroll, they said to us, the lawyers, who made lots of money from that negotiation, said, "We're ready to sign." They gave us plane tickets. I see the price of the plane tickets. It's like $3,000 to New York and back. And I said, well, I can get you a better deal. It's Israel. I can negotiate for it. Give me no. You just show up to the flight. Everything would be nice. And I show up for the flight. I go up to coach, and the student says to me, no. Where are you going? You're in business, first class. Are you sure? I'm from Ashkelon. I'm really not allowed to this, And I felt really uncomfortable. They have so much space, They could fit me. Seriously, I went out of the bathroom, and she, with napkins, she was giving me and food and 3-course meals. What kind of wine you want, sir? And all that. Amazing. First class is the best. We come out of the plane. We have a limousine. We have a guy with a hat and a Mr. Taagouri sign. I didn't know. Mr. Taagouri. They have Mr. I took a picture of him to show my mom. Somebody called me Mr. I was the exit, first class, and they took us everywhere in New York. They took us to the best show. This is Robin Williams, really. It's like $500 tickets. Unbelievable. And it was amazing, best food ever. Sorry for all the kosher guys, but this is good. This is damn good. And you know, steaks, biggest steaks ever. This, by the way, this is
שים את זה,
actually
זה בקאפ שהבאתי.
this is huge. This is a 5 kilo steak. Okay.
שים את זה עליך רק.
And Peter Luger. This is Peter Luger, exactly. This is Peter Luger. This is $60 whiskey. And we drank a lot that night. This is the day we signed. My wife called me. Is the deal still? Is the deal signed? I said, yes, the deal is signed. I come back to Israel to find 3 new friends, Jimmy Choo, and Gucci, and Versace. Shoes. My wife started buying shoes. I said, fuck, we can do that. I'm looking at new houses. I'm looking about brochures. I'm going to get a new Jeep. A Jeep. You know, Ashkelon, only drug dealers get Jeeps in Ashkelon. And I did it. We started working, we started recruiting because they said to us, we want the best offices in Israel. We need a big sign, WPP sign. I said, you have the money, we'll get you there. We started, we almost signed the contract. 2 weeks into the thing, nobody answers the phone calls. Nobody answers emails. We were afraid. It was an emotional distress kind of situation. Back to DLD, this guy, I told him, now he didn't know that I was in that emotional distress a few months back, and I said to him, look, don't fuck with me, I don't have a lot of time. If you're going to do the deal, let's do it very fast. It's very, very simple. There's one investor with 3 guys, very cool guy, you want us, let's do it. He said, okay. I knew that in negotiation, they're a bit more experienced than me, right? They can work me out, they can make me sign things that I don't understand. I said, I'm not going to negotiate for myself. I'm going to call this guy. Now, this guy is Tal Bar-Noach. He's a very, very experienced guy. He's an investor, he's an angel, he's an entrepreneur. Google didn't want to talk to him because they knew him. You cannot fuck with Tal, you know? Tal is a serious person. So Tal asked me, Yossi, how much money do you want for the startup? I said, I don't know. Any money is clearly better than no money at all, and I don't have any money. But I knew that Yossi Vardi would not sell for less than 4. And I don't know, 6, 7 would be nice. I don't know. I didn't know, you know. So I asked a friend, and he asked me. He told me, Yossi, you know how you ask for a price. You take a mirror and you stand in front of it and you start to tell numbers from low to high. And when you laugh, you stop. So, okay, 7 sounds good enough. So he said, okay, we'll tell them 9. Okay. Now at this stage, I didn't tell my wife, right? $7 million, $9 million, this is a lot of money. And this guy started negotiating. He would explain to me what they mean, but what they're saying. They're saying one thing, but they mean another thing. And you don't know that. You want to believe them. You want to sign the deal. You want to get it over. You want the money in the bank, and you can't. You can't because you don't understand what they're saying. That's why you have a translator. It's like in in all those Star Wars stuff. It's a different language that they speak. Seriously, and at some point we had everything done. It was done. We had the numbers on the table. We had all the CVs. We talked with the product guys. Everything was done. Marisa Meyer, which I very like. I like her voice. When she starts talking, it's like, it's hypnotizing. Her English is la, 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 la. It's like you Italians speak. It's amazing. So she was supposed to sign the deal. What could go wrong? This guy decided to become the CEO of Google. And he decided that stop all M&A. I'm 1 week away from the money. He stops everything. He demotes Marisa Meyer, who was supposed to sign the deal. Now she cannot sign the deal. I'm fucked again. This guy made a big mistake. Seriously, unlike Martin Sorrell, this guy they made a big mistake. Until today, they don't have a good product with Google Places. They fucked it up. But at that stage, like, we were really depressed. It's very depressing. You learn a lot from not selling a company for the second time. And it's depressing. And it actually broke the company in a way that we couldn't build it again. And we decided to move on. And we had $50,000 in the bank. And I said to Yossi, okay, we are going to close the company. And he said to me, okay, let's split the money. I said, Yossi, this is not how I envisioned to make an exit. This is not my money. This is your money. I don't want your money. And actually, it took us a year to close the company. I don't know if you know that, but in Israel, it takes a lot of time to close the company. It takes a day to open. It takes a year to close. They want all sorts of forms. So we were without work. We didn't have any more money. We decided to do things. And we started to work on a startup, and on one of the weekends, we needed a break, and there was this global game jam event where they encourage you to build a game in 48 hours. So I don't know if you heard about PA, but it's a game, and this my other partner, Israel Roth, he did an exit, but you will never, see from how he looks or how he behaves that did he make it. He's a very modest guy. He sold XMPie to Xerox. He spinned it off of Cytex a few years back. He's an amazing guy with a lot of passion to create things. And so we said, let's do PA. PA is a game. Eyal invented it. It's a voice-activated game. He did it 8 years ago on Flash, but nobody knew it because it was Flash. It's a website. Go, make people go to a website. It's a hard thing. So we said, let's do it on an iPhone. And Eyal, we started to talk about how we're going to do that, and we're going to do this and that. 20 minutes later, we hear Israel in the corner saying, and Israel, well, what's going on? He said, we have a prototype. We're 20 minutes of work, and we have a prototype. We have a prototype. So we worked about, on it a bit more. And it actually was, we showed it to people on the Global Game Jam event, and it was really nice and hilarious, and I'll show it to you in a minute, but we didn't do anything with it. It was actually on our computers for like 2 months, until we decided, let's do it, let's release it, what can happen? And we uploaded it to the Apple App Store. Now in the Apple App Store, when you upload a new app, you have to wait for the Holy Spirit of Steve Jobs to approve your app. I have a lot of respect for Steve Jobs. He left us alone, like with all this chaos. Who will replace it? Did you see the stock, with Apple stock? Unbelievable. Too bad for whoever invested in Apple. I'm a big believer, by the way. But we were waiting, and we got an email. Wednesday morning, we got an email a week later saying it is in review. We were excited. We went to a mall, to a shopping center in Schuster in Ramat Aviv to shoot a video of users playing. We said, let's show people how to play, right? This is what happened. We didn't know what to do. These guys didn't get it. And we were there to explain, and they didn't get it. We didn't know what's going to happen. So we went to sleep. It turns out that somewhere around 1 or 2 a.m., Apple approved it. And 2 hours after that, one of the biggest game blogs in the world picked it up. And this was the first review ever of PA.
Hey everybody, this is Mike Fahey, and welcome to the most ridiculous video I've ever done. They say to use PA, but da works better for me, it seems. Da. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I can't talk about the game when I'm going da.
It had around 40,000 views when we woke up on Thursday. It was amazing. It just got out, you know, the word started spreading out. We were around number 1 in Israel, which is around 100 downloads. It's $1, but still, you know. And then something happens. We got hacked. Now, what is getting hacked? It means that they can download the game without paying us. And I got pissed out, you know. I got pissed out like 9/11 style. Don't they know not to mess with us? We like bomb the Iraqi nuclear plant. It's like we're the Israelis. You don't mess with us. You don't fuck with us. We're the Israelis. You know? And we were very pissed. I felt like they're taking the food out of my kids' mouth. And now I have 4 kids and they eat a lot. And I don't know if you know that, but my family, we live by pa. At that time, we lived by pa. And this was my smallest one. She was 1 year old at the time. She got it. 1 year old. Very smart girl. Very, very intelligent. Very, very. Huge potential. I got the vein, start working, and I was pissed. I was very vocal about it on Facebook. I got all my friends to, you know, to share it, and there was this guy who said, you know, I know who hacked your game, and it's this guy on YouTube. And then my friend said to me, you know that it's this guy on Facebook. And he gave me a link to his profile. So I friended him. And I waited. And this guy was not very smart. He approved me. And I go into a chat. And I said to him, how could you do this to me? And he said, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. And he said, I know you did it. I know you did it. And as we talked, you know, the link went off. And 2 days later, they went back on. Somebody else did it. And my friends told me, Yossi, serenity now, insanity later, don't worry. As long as they're having fun, we are happy. Said, okay. Serenity now, insanity later. If they're having fun, I'm okay with it. So we let it go. I let them hack the game. Fuck it. I'm happy, they're happy, everybody's happy. Okay? And then, Taiwan found out about the game. And they started shooting videos. And they were very, very creative about it, by the way. Here is another one. They have a lot of time. And it goes on and on. They did 100 and something in this game. Now, point doesn't matter. They don't mean anything. But still, they played it like crazy. And then China found out about it. And I don't know if you know that, but China has a lot of Chinese people. And they were downloading Pa like crazy. And they started sending us emails. And the first email I got, it was broken English, so excuse me for the language. It says, it had a sound control system not appears in other apps. It was like Google Translated or something. I saw some videos playing the game, looks funny, but none of my friends bought it. They didn't have money and stuff. Give me a promo code. Now a promo code is something that you give, because the app was paid, it's $1. A promo code is something that you give to journalists. You have 50 of them, so you give them to bloggers so they can review the app without paying, because those bastards don't pay for anything. And, you know, he said, I'm going to write a review somewhere. I said, where are you going to write a review? And he said, in the App Store. Now I knew that with a promo code, he cannot write a review because Apple blocked it. It doesn't make any sense. And I asked my wife. She was a PhD student at the time, very, very, very smart person, my wife. Very lovely. I married her, I know. And she said to me, it's probably a nice Chinese person. Come on, give him a promo code. Don't be cheap. I said, okay, here is a promo code. Go have fun. The day later, I get another email. And that email says, yesterday, my best friend showed me Pa. They are friends. Okay? And he sends me, I want a promo code. I said, okay, a nice Chinese person, send him a promo code, have fun. A day later, I get another email. I played it on my friend's iPhone. Now it's viral on China, right? Everybody on China started to send me emails. They want the promo code. My wife said, this is not a way to have, pay the mortgage. Don't do that anymore. So I said, sorry, we ran out of it. But his mom was playing. He doesn't have a gyroscope, by the way. So we did something that we usually people do not do, and we started sharing the numbers with everybody. How many downloads, how much money we made, everything. This is something that people usually don't do because the numbers never look good, okay? But we said, fuck it, we can do that. It's ours, it's for fun, it's our out of box. Why do we care? So this is how many downloads we had. We're actually much bigger than this now, but we passed 1 million downloads, which is amazing. One VC, Israeli VC, said once that 1 million of anything is something. This guy got promoted and he works for Sequoia in the UK now. He knows what he's doing. And then, we never uploaded any video of Pa to YouTube. But still, we had millions and millions of views. We actually launched Pa for Windows Phone 7 with Nokia in a Mobile World Congress last year. And there was this Chinese guy saying, oh, I know Pa. And he took us to the parallel universe of the internet in China. It's a parallel universe in China. They have everything. They have their Facebook, they have their Messenger, they have their YouTube. It's called Youku. You know Youku? You know Youku. Youku. It's a parallel universe. They have many, many views. They had videos of Pa with 3 million views each video. It was amazing, unbelievable. And then, is how many gameplays we had on Pa, which is amazing. You can see, by the way, that that iOS users are much more happier than Android users. This is a science fact. You see the numbers. The numbers don't lie, And when you go to raise money from a VC, the first thing that they ask you is, okay, what is your measure of success? You need your own measure of success. You need a big number of something. It doesn't matter what, just invent something. So we invented ours, which is how many times people shouted Pa. We are tracking. I was in economy, we did analytics, we knew how to track things. So this is how many shouts of Pa. We caused the world to shout more than 100 million times Pa. Okay? Which is an achievement, on my grave, I want this number engraved, like on the 100 million shouts of Pa. It makes a little world, So how much money did we make? We actually made, directly from the iOS store, around $60,000, which is nice for 8 hours of work, right? We didn't invest anything in marketing. We actually do not know, to this day, how to do that. Okay? We haven't learned anything. We do not know how to do that. But we made a lot more money by people coming to us and said to us, you made Pa, right? I said, yes. Oh, can you do this for me? I said, do you have money? I said, yes. Okay, yes, we can. So we made lots of stuff since then. And so I want to show you how the next Pa looks like, which is a really nice app. It doesn't cost anything, by the way. So I encourage you to download it now. It's on the iOS. It's free. And it will make you look totally ridiculous. Very good for board meetings. Okay. This is, let me show you Pa. Amazing technology from Apple, huh? $60 this cable. Amazing, amazing. Yes, Okay, wait a minute. Here it is. So it has themes in the purchases. We can make a lot of money. So here it goes. Pa. Better graphics. Supports iPhone 5. The best thing that we do is during the game, we shoot a video of yourself. We shoot a video of you playing the game. And when you press play, we're automatically sharing it everywhere. Everywhere we know that you are making a fun out of yourself. No, we're not. We're not sharing it with anyone. It's for our own private collection. And then we blackmail you. No. But seriously, you can share it if you want. But this is a video that we actually make the iPhone, activate all its sensors, everything, the gyro, everything works here. Especially, this is the first time that an app actually shoots while the player is playing. And it's pretty nice. You can share it here. Let me share it to Facebook and share it on Facebook. This is nice. I'm now sharing. Here is another one. Very inspiring. Now, what we learned, by the way, that the best marketing campaign ever is piracy. I don't know if you know, but not all Chinese are pirates. Actually, the number one pirate country we have in the analytics is China. The number one paying country is China. It turns out that not all pirates, they have some friends that are not pirates. It happens. Pirates with no pirates, it works. And actually, they made us a lot of money just because they, spread out the word, which is amazing. Every time we get an app out, we price it, they hack it, we drop it to zero. Because they think if it costs something, it must be valuable in some way. Let's hack it. Another inspiring, really nice slide. So we decided that, we want to do little stupid things. And we started to work on things. And we found out that we are very, very good at executing, getting things out. Because on the iPhone, it's really, really fast. And you can do crazy, crazy things because it has all the sensors that you can imagine on one device. It's really it's a heaven for developers. It's amazing. And we started doing projects for hire. And we ended up understanding that it's not very scalable because we don't want to hire people to work for us and do, employ them for a low salary and collect high amounts of money from whoever wants to pay. And we started building companies around ideas. And there are currently 3 companies that we're running. And we're doing it in a way that we are partners in the company and we get money for it. But we take care of all the technical execution and we build a company around it in a way that they complete us with people that are not technical. So we said to them, you have an idea, that's cool. Let's build a company. And you bring all the other guys, we bring our talent, and together we're doing something. So the first one that we did is we're doing it with Dov Moran, which we are privileged to do. It's like a big honor to work with this guy. He failed and he succeeded, but he is relentless. He's like the Shimon Peres of startups. He never stops. Really, I wish him to get to the age of Shimon Peres and keep on doing because he has like 10 startups in parallel. It's amazing. He never stops. Modu was a huge failure. I wish myself to have like a huge failure like he, but it's amazing. And he came up, he and Dedi Zucker and a few other guys came with this idea to replace textbooks in schools. So we actually built this thing and it looks amazing. It works on Android tablets and it now works on iPad too. And it's basically, we have 3,000 students, 6, 7, and 8 grades in Israel that are going to school only with tablets. And it is connected to the Wi-Fi. All the time we put a Wi-Fi hotspot in every class. And they communicate with the teacher all the time. And the teacher has a command and control system where they press a button and they can page the page and write comments and everything is shared. And it's a new learning experience, totally new learning experience. Next year we're going to have around 50 to 100,000 students using this system in the schools. I wish my kids would use that. We are in cities like Bat Yam, in Chulon, in Tveria, in Bet Shean, in El Fachem. In places where you would say the economic situation is not the best, but they have better skills, better learning skills than anyone else. Why? Because of technology. And this is actually, we're privileged to be a part of this because this is really, for us, it's going to reboot schools and the education system. So the next company that we're doing it with Oren Dubronsky. If you know Hotbar, you know Hotbar? Hotbar did a big exit, and they did another exit with CrossRider. Oren did with CrossRider a few weeks ago. And this is going to change the way people do shopping on tablets. It turns out that women love to do shopping. Amazing. Really. And they do it in bed. And they don't have a good way to do it today. And the US market is basically amazing. By the way, we saw a study that tried to understand why are people buying online. And it turns out that the top reason for that is that they want to avoid the salesperson in the store, which is amazing. Seriously, you are doing like this with your eyebrows. I saw that. First strike. This is what happens. By the way, there is a company, a brand called Burberry. They have big stores. They now design the real stores to be more like an online store. They have clothes in cages. You cannot touch the clothes. You have a barcode, you scan it, and you get all the information, and you buy it from the phone. You don't get bags, they ship it, right? And this is the third one. This is targeted towards the American company. And the third one, which this is what I'm doing, is going, I hope, to disrupt cellular providers. We have built, in the past 3 months, a new kind of a cellular provider. A one that we give you a SIM card, and you pay us $10 a month. We give you unlimited data, and we actually cancel your voice channel. You cannot call using the phone. But we give you an app, and using that app, you can call whomever you want, anywhere in the world, for free. And the best thing, you can roam with that phone for free. Anywhere in the world, you land, you open the phone, you have internet, and you're done. This is the last SIM that you will ever buy, and it's cheaper than Golan Telecom, and it's cheaper than everybody else, because you need to know that if you think that you are suckers, that you were suckers, you are still suckers. Calls, phone calls, doesn't cost anything in our world. SMSs don't cost anything in the world. Data costs a fraction of what you pay today. And we decided to disturb it, not on a local level, but on a Milky Way level. Okay? So I'll just finish in one little thing that I remember Linus Torvalds said once, that if you have an idea and you don't act on it, or if you're working for a big company and you have an idea and you don't do anything about it, you are both stupid and ugly. Go do stuff, okay? And when I said to Yossi that I want to close the company, he said, I'm not angry of you for spending my money. All I ask is that you try again. Don't go to work for Amdocs or Converse, which I have respect for those companies, but try again. And he has a famous sentence saying, the number of possible failures for any entrepreneur is finite. Eventually, you will not fail. Thank you very much.